big rage. So the goal of this is using only one aspect to create a semi-competitive deck that isn't strictly worse than a version that would have multiple aspects. So our excuse to do that this time around is Word of Fire, which scales with your number of rage levels. So we're going to 4 rage levels in order to use our Elder Red Dragon, which makes Word of Fire an extremely good card. Now, there are a few variations on this. Order Rage and Wisdom Rage are both quite popular as well, but this is the one that's simpler in terms of shrine count, so better for beginners, which is the kind of goal of this series. And I'll explain the rest that's here as well. So we've got the 2-drop in the Goblin Fireworker. That's just to play early. Our other creatures are all much later in the game. We have the Elder because it's a big body that cycles itself a lot of the time. We have the Phoenix because it's a fast body, still pretty big. That, of course, revives itself. And then we've got our Red Dragon as well. So this is for our really late game. We can play it on turn 8 with the 4 mana and the 4 levels, but often we'll wait until turn 12 when we've got the extra 4 mana to activate its ability at the same turn. The other spells we're running are all essentially control spells. So Symbol of Fury, cheap control, kill their early threats. Occasionally, later in the game, you can pay extra mana and it gets more value. Word of Fire, as explained before, really core to this deck. Great early, great late. You're never sad to draw it. Lightning Bolt, it's like an early Word of Fire. It does have uses against the advanced Despina hero power, and other times it can be useful. We might see that in action. Otherwise, it is just 1 damage that cycles itself, which isn't too bad. And we can always Divine Offering things as well. So if this doesn't have a good spot for it to be played, then we just Divine Offering it away. So it's no hard time to keep using it. Running Fireball, of course, 3 mana for 3 damage. Again, this is similar to a Symbol of Fury. It's just something nice to have early. Now, both Fireball and Symbol of Fury can hit face, which means that is extra reach towards the end of the game as well. Fire Blast, board control, similar to Fireball, needs the extra level, but does have that 1 extra damage to creatures on the same line. Cannonade, a little less good after its nerf, but we just don't really have anything better to replace it with. So if we look in that kind of area, there's no other really useful board control spells. So we're just running that Cannonade because despite the nerf, despite it costing 1 more mana than it used to, it's still an extra control spell, which is really all we want to run in this deck. And then we've got Dragonfire, sensing a theme here, deals 5 damage to a creature, can destroy an artifact. So, this deck really does hate on artifacts between the Dragonfire and the Fireworker. And it just gets us going all the way to the end. Running 17 shrines, running 1 Altar of Dragons. We don't always want to take that as a skill shrine. Often we'll just take that as the level, especially if we've drawn it early, because this is more for matchups where there's, say, 2 Curse of Reaches in play. So this allows us to continue controlling their board without actually playing spells and damaging ourselves through that kind of situation. We are, of course, running 1 Valley and 15 Rage Shrines for a total of 17 there. And let's get started and hope I find a game. I have 2-drop. That's the best I get in this deck. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to look for the second shrine, though, despite that. Ooh, 2 2-drops. What a world. I'm probably toss Dragonfire. I don't need 2 of those. And I'm going to really hope for a shrine next turn. Toss that away. Damn, that sucks. So I'm going to be behind in shrines, but I only run 1 Valley, and I really value the ability to Divine Offering without losing cards. So in return for being behind, I get to keep Valley in my deck. So I'm kind of 1 behind in my curve where I might be, which can really punish this particular deck because, my god, my curve is high. But, that's where we're at. That's a little bit annoying. So I can put 2 into that. I'm going to toss one of these dragons. Let's have a look-see, or Let's just fireball that down, starting our control plan, and swing in for face. Now, against Illusion Twin, Lightning Bolt can actually be quite effective, and so can like a 1-level Word of Fire. So those are things we kind of want to keep. I'm definitely looking at tossing the Fireworker. I'm somewhat looking at tossing the Red Dragon. Really like Battle-Scarred Elder, it's quite an effective card. Dragonfire is great removal. That's fine. So look, I am going to toss the Fireworker here. It's probably the least overall impactful card in our hand. Get to take this Rage level and get to Word of Fire this down. Now, Word of Fire is so flexible because it's a good early game card and it's also a good late game card when we do get these levels up. And again, this is kind of our justification for being only Rage at the moment. Here we have that Wisdom Rage that I was talking about earlier. Take that Rage level and take that draw. Yeah! Phoenix is excellent. I like all of this removal, so I'm going to toss that Dragon. Because it's so long until I really want to have it. Being behind that one, like he's still got the spark here. Being behind that one from that early Mistio, maybe I should have mulliganed to look for 2 shrines in hand. That could have been a mistake this game. Dragonfire can take out half of that, but it's really inefficient. I'll tell you what though, this can take out that just by itself, really. Which is quite good. So we will. I'm glad to see the Rage Shrine. It's a shame that's a 4/4 now, otherwise I would have fired. So we are going to have to swing in back. We're going to keep up this instant speed. We're not going to cycle Word of Fire because it's going to be very good next turn. If this wants to trade, that's fine. Even if he buffs then trades, then I can use this instant speed, and that's not too bad. So yeah, I'm going to use the symbol instant speed on that 3/1. There we go. That works well enough. Good enough use of that mana. He's actually quite low on cards now. Phoenix is doing a lot of work for him, but within the next couple of turns, I can begin to take care of that. So here I'm inclined to want to Phoenix myself. But also I could maybe just like Dragonfire, Word of Fire. I think I like that better actually. Because he's low on cards, the lower I can get him, the more in control I'm going to be of this game. It's a shame he doesn't have any artifacts. That's kind of one of the big bonuses of having Dragonfire, but what can you do? Now, the good news is anything he plays next turn, I always have this threat now, Firestorm. So that's going to be pretty perpetual there as a big threatening figure. I also have plenty of plays coming up. If he kills that, great. I get to play my second Battle-Scarred and it'll draw a card. It does dissuade me from wanting to use my Firestorm, but not by a significant amount. And even here, I fully expect that he's going to have some type of removal for this in this situation. He does, fantastic. And now I'm just going to double Phoenix. Now, what I'm going to get rid of here is the Cannonade, because he doesn't seem to be going hugely wide. It's more big things. It's a shame that we missed, but that's all right. We still get this extremely powerful play of the double Phoenix. Now, if he does use his Illusion Twin, I will, of course, just Lightning Bolt it. That's why I'm not dumping these. These are something that's ordinarily not too useful of a card. It's just a little bit useful. But in this matchup, against this Illusion Twin, it's going to be quite good. Even against that, though, I will block this with the Phoenix. And I will still block it with the Phoenix. There we go. I think I've actually got lethal here because I can swing for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's swing in. It goes over the top of him. He doesn't have the speed. So that's our 6. Draw first. It doesn't matter. I know exactly what card I'm going to play, but you know. Form good habits. And there we go, 1-0. Okay. And we'll go for the next one. Here we go. Oh, instant Q as well. Excellent. Against Soldeck. Here we are. I have a 2-drop. It's burn, but that's fine. I have the 1 Rage Shrine. Now, this punished me before, and again, this might be wrong. Maybe I should be mulliganing, looking for 2 Rage Shrines, but I'm happy to have a playable 2. So, you know, I'm going to risk it again. And we'll toss a Cannonade. And we'll go for the mana. And end. The reason we take the mana, there's not really anything we can threaten by taking a level. We don't have anything playable. We will take it now, but this just lets us see the extra card that we're giving up. I will toss that dragon. It's going to be much later that I want to use that. Now, this is an instant speed, so he can play something out, and then I can deal with it immediately, hopefully, you know. There shouldn't be too many plays he have. That's the one that you're scared of, but, you know, what can be done? And he's swifting it too, so he's going to be quite aggressive. And I'm going to be a little bit sad about that, but that's okay. This might very well get in 3 or 4 hits on me. Or I can draw the perfect counter. Here we go. Go, Fireworker, go. And what will I toss? Probably the Cannonade. Altar of Dragons, not really what I want to see. But it lines up to the Fire Blast coming next turn if I use it as a level, which I'm perfectly happy with. I don't really want to use it for the ability. I'd rather have an extra drawn card that comes from a normal shrine at this stage. And against this type of deck, presumably throughout the rest of the game. Even against Spell Warden, I have 2 solutions, so I'll just use whichever one he doesn't take away from me here. So I do only run 4 ofs, so he can kind of clearly see what's in my hand at the moment through his Spell Warden, which is probably why this is taking a little while. But he will see that there's not really many options. So out of these 2, what does he want to deny me? And he said, I want you to have 1 less Fireball in your deck, which is fine. I don't want this game. Going to go ahead and Fire Blast that. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Fury. I might regret that because on my 5 mana turn, it's possible I'd want to go one of these 3 mana things plus the Fury, but I just value the Fireball's extra 1 damage on a single target a little bit more. And that's about the sum of it. The hope is one of these 2 is coming down the next turn, and then the turn after, and then the turn after. And that is exactly the case. Now, the Phoenix is more resilient, so we always play that first, essentially. This cycles, which is excellent, but it doesn't have that resilience, so unless we're actually looking for a play, or if it's our last option, we want to kind of leave these to last. You know what? I've got the Word of Fire now. I only have 1 shrine. I want to kind of keep 2 shrines at 5 cards if I can, so I'm going to start looking, and it's a good thing I did because I would have missed next turn. This will just allow us to keep that shrine count up, keep developing each turn in terms of mana and levels, which is great for this deck because we do need to go quite late with it. Now, he's got another potentially big turn coming up with this native terrain, so we will have to keep an eye out on that. Okay. That's a little bit annoying, but he can't buff it, which means I can kill it with a Word of Fire. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't like to grab this rage level this early, but really, I'm getting that drawback from the shrine, except through the Word of Fire, if that makes sense. And here we go, there's that next shrine, and to the face. Now this does mean I have all my levels that I need to play the big red dragon. So sometimes, especially in a case like this where I've already got it set up, and it's not making me invest another level too early because I've already got that level invested. If I were to draw my big red dragon, I would play it in many cases. The Elder is a more tempting option until I'm at the 8 mana mark where I can play the dragon and then activate its 4 mana ability. But sometimes, if you think they won't have removal, or if you think it will cost them a lot to remove, sometimes just having that extra health on there, so this is a 4/4, that's a 5/5, or just that it's more of a threat because it does have that 3 speed as a 5/5 as well. The next turn, if it stays up a turn, it does get that ability. So it's something that has to be dealt with. If you think that that will be significantly hard for them to deal with, that can be a good play. That's a annoying stat line. This deals with it eventually. I've kind of put that a turn away where it might have been by taking that extra level for the Word of Fire. But that can deal with it somewhat. Could be Word of Fire. Yeah. So obviously taking the mana here. Now he doesn't have any artifacts. He's unlikely to, but he might because he is running a priest. Putting the Phoenix in will kill one of these. I don't want him to be able to double block for a good trade. So I'm going to put the Phoenix into one of the plants, because if I attack here, he double blocks with both plants. I still only kill one. And then I have a choice between a big body or removal. This is really inefficient on these, and this can trade well into both of these. So I'm pretty happy with that result. All right, so that going to a 4/5, obviously inconvenient. That's potentially even worse because he's going to get 4 damage through now. But he's invested more resources into that, right? So the usage of, I think it was a Fields? Yeah. So the usage of a Fields into that with the 5 health, harder to kill, but the Dragonfire lines up nicely with it now. I'm more inclined and, in fact, happier to use the Dragonfire for this effect. No second target. Yeah, there's no artifacts. That's not an artifact. Good. Yes, fantastic. Didn't think it was. And then I'm just going to play out the tempo. Now, next turn, I have this. I don't really mind if I kill my own stuff. I just need to keep controlling. The fact that I am getting some chip damage in on their face is excellent, but really, eventually, this should be my game plan to end. Sometimes that can adjust. Sometimes I can say, well, actually, I've got quite a bit of burn in my hand. So if I had a few Symbols of Fury, if I had a few Fireballs, I'd be like, what's my reach here? In this case, my reach is 2. So that's still a fair ways off. This does mean at 10 mana, my reach would be 7, combining these. Probably at 8 mana, though, I'd just go for it or use it as border removal. But that's coming up as well. I don't really mind about that. I suspect he doesn't really care about it either and is simply using it to cycle, but that's okay. The 2/1 there is not too bad, so Symbol of Fury will get rid of that in a pinch. Take the draw. I could Symbol both and then Lightning Bolt here, which costs me 6 mana. Do I Lightning Bolt there first ever? He still has 3 mana there. I'm going to not give him interaction. I'm going to quickly remove both of these. This frees up the Word of Fire in my hand now. That is now threatening again. And if he has a Pacify here, then he has a Pacify here, and he goes down to 2 cards, which is still great. He doesn't, so he doesn't, and that's also great. Now, all of these cards are gas. This will draw, this will draw. I don't feel like I need 2 Rage Shrines when I have 2 extra draws from the hand. The reason I'm only counting this as 2 is, of course, once I've played 1 Battle-Scarred Elder, the second won't draw. That's also the argument for playing this before I commit to the dragon. Remind me, Might Emblems. Combat damage. So he's going to get a free trade in on my Fireworker, and don't care. That's fine. Oh no. The double Word of Fire here is pretty amazing. Consideration of whether I want a Dragonfire instead. I don't really care. Well, we got to kill this first, which we can, nice and easy. And we kill this just because it's, there. And then we swing in. And then we draw. Well, I'm playing this for the tempo. The draw is incidental, but nice. And with this, look, kind of like it how it is. If I didn't have any shrines, I would toss something, but these are all useful. Now we're looking very much at, hey, I can burn him out in 2 turns, right? So deals 5, deals 3. I'm coming up to the 5 damage turn with big threat, and then I got 3, so we'll deal with the threat, and then I can hit him for that last 3. Or I can kill him this turn. Let's find out. What removal do you have, Soldeck? None. Well, I got this far. I'm going to play the fancy way to kill you. And there we go. Just a little bit of overkill. All right, up against Autopsy here. Looking at this opening hand, it's not really a 2-drop, but we're really happy with Word of Fire. The Fire Blast, it's not the earliest thing we can get, but it's not too bad. So we're pretty okay with this hand. We're going to keep it. We're going to take it. And there's that keep button. Here I am going to take the level, because there's a chance I'll want to level again, then coin a Word of Fire. All right, so a wall's come down. I have no concern about the wall, so I'm just going to leave that be and toss away something that's a bit more expensive. Now, the Cannonade and the Dragonfire could be useful against the wall. Again, we really like Word of Fire. Fire Blast is weak-ish, but maybe we want to go wide. It's one of those games where it's going to be, this is potentially an important decision. Now, here I have 2 Fire Blasts, so I'm going to get rid of one of them. And that kind of lets us curve 3 to 4 to the extra level. All right, so they've done very little in their turn. My plan is to, very similarly, also do very little. Most Wisdom decks will play a second color, and my hope here is that it's not going to negatively affect me by just waiting. Now, I do have 2 Battle Scards now. I'm going to get rid of the Fireworker, because the Dragonfire already covers the artifact situation, and grabbing that Fireworker, like, it's the least useful card in hand. If I didn't have Dragonfire, then I'd consider keeping it, because this does look like a mono Wisdom deck, and there is a higher likelihood of seeing artifact styles within that. So we're going to take that Rage level. Sorry, this is a little bit of a complicated turn, because I need to decide, am I instantly dealing with this, or am I starting my own board? Now, he probably has a fair amount of removal himself. The thing about the Phoenix is it takes a fair amount of removal to remove it. Again, still really like Word of Fire. Fire Blast lines up really well. Cannonade, not so much on this board, so I'm going to toss that Cannonade. I did see the tribute to the Fire Lord there. I don't really want it at this stage. I'm not planning on taking an extra level for a little while. I don't really want it as a skill shrine. So if that just stays in my deck forever, I'm not too sad. Now, the coming turn is interesting because I can double clear this. I can take the 4th level, having said that I likely won't, and then double Word. Or, much better, I'll just double word on the 2 3 health things, which is excellent. Wondrous. There is a question here of resource where I can use this and this, but symbol, when I have more mana freed up, can still be more useful. And if I don't use these, the fact that it draws a card doesn't mean anything. So half of the utilization of this card is getting it out of your hand and having a different card. I'm going to toss one of my symbols because it's the least impact currently. Now I'm coming up to an excellent turn. My full plan next turn is to double Phoenix. Now he's got a 6 health thing there. I'm just wondering, do I ever whittle it down using like Symbol and Fire Blast and that type of thing? Because that's just going to get bigger over time. But this is a significantly strong play, so I really, really want to do it. And I hope I don't lose the game because of it. Now these are starting to load up in my hand, which isn't ideal. So there's a question, maybe I should have done 1 Phoenix, 1 Battle Scarred. But here the speed bonus really is helpful on this board. I get to choose trades, I get to choose what's happening. Here, this gets traded into, or it doesn't, or something. It's hard to say. Traded into isn't necessarily a bad thing, and what's happening now? And this is unfortunate, because I am coming up on this 6, and I was hoping this board might be appropriate for it, but it very much isn't. And that is a lot of damage coming in, and that shock is just really painful on the 2/3/3s. Now, there is also a chance that he's looking to put down a silencer soon. This is actually perfect against a silencer. So, things that I want to do. I want to develop Goblin Fireworker. Things that I have to do is control this board. I very much wish I had a second Fire Blast instead of a Fireball currently. I have 6 mana. To survive, I only need to get rid of 3 damage, which can be done by anything hitting the Incarnate. To do better than survive, I could kill that, and then he'd have 8, 9, which isn't too bad for me. I'm going to use the Dragonfire, because that's big. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit an artifact, but what can you do? And then I just want that to become smaller, right? Now, this could be useful in incidentally also making that small later, so I'm going to use the Fireball for that method currently. So I've just shrunk his board impact as much as I can. Now, next turn, I potentially have Fire Blast and Symbol of Fury. I don't know exactly how I'd want that to line up. Hopefully these aren't shocked next turn, so I can actually utilize them. If they aren't shocked, then that allows me to get rid of the wall, deal some incidental damage here, and then be able to trade in. I do not like that card. Oh no. It's not really what you want to see. So if I can stabilize, I have so much gas in hand, and I can't stabilize. That's so terrible for me. So he's going to swing through 8, and I don't think there's anything I can do here. All right, there is something I can do. So if I use Firestorm, that will kill these, and they will no longer be tired. He will have his own Phoenix. That will still be alive, and that will be a 2/2, which isn't enough for me to win. I can only just hope that they don't see it, which is a terrible strategy. Interesting that comes back as the Aurite. That might have been changed. I think did it used to come back as a Phoenix? Never mind, got shot down anyway. But that's all right. We'll move on to some others. All right, straight into our next game, Melfix. This isn't a bad start, and I can DO the dragon, so I'm happy to keep this. Difference. I no longer have the spark, so I'm going to take the mana and the card first, just to see what my draws are starting to look like. decide what I want to DO. I am going to toss that dragon early. Now here, I definitely didn't need more shrines, right? But I also definitely didn't need the dragon. So it's a fringe case, but there are cases where later I DO and I miss, and I DO and I miss, and I DO and I miss, and it ends up affecting my mana. So getting rid of that dragon early keeps me going in those situations. I don't want Altar this turn. It's too slow. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, this is concerning. He's probably running stuff that synergizes with it. Do I want to draw the card and preserve this, or do I want to use this and preserve the card draw? Well, card draw is only useful once you've got it in your hand. So this is a very good card late, yes. This is an okay card late, yes. But currently we're early, and I still want things to be as good as they can be. Whew. Sick. Very happy to use a lightning bolt instead of another word of fire. And I don't need 3 cannonades. Cannonades will be useful probably in this matchup. It does look like a white, well, now it's a Order Rage with that shrine, but it does look like a sort of mid-range, more aggressive deck style. Now here's why I was kind of okay, well, why I was very okay with tossing the Word of Fire as removal earlier. It's because to this board, Symbol of Fury will actively get rid of 2 threats, right? Whereas Word of Fire, if it's against a wide board, it can still only hit one thing. And based on cards played, which is literally only one card that I can see, it's looking like he's going wider. It's not a lot of information to work with, but it's what I've got at the time. Here I'm going to take the Rage, and I'm going to use the Word. Again, I'm not expecting too many really large health sums. I did just want to find that extra draw. Found a Fireworker. That's excellent. Now, I can play the Cannonades. These are coming up next turn, hopefully. Symbol is probably our least versatile card at the moment. It does have the face damage, but because we go so long in this game, we don't need that reach necessarily. Sometimes it's convenient. Sometimes it's just like, oh, thank God we found some reach. The game can end, the grind is over. But usually, if we've managed to get control, we can grind that game. Ooh, it's a Helm deck. That's interesting. So against a Helm deck, I've got a great play. I'm going to play my Phoenix, and I'm going to sacrifice this. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep this. So if he activates the Helm of Righteousness, takes it away from me, I don't care. If he puts a Helm of Righteousness on my Phoenix, I want to use this to destroy the Helm. So here my Artifact Hate is going to come in somewhat more useful. I am a little bit scared having played that Phoenix. I didn't think that through entirely. Maybe I should have played the Elder, but it's okay. Okay, so he's getting rid of it using Ray of Righteousness anyway, so that's perfect for me because it's a Phoenix and it comes back. Yay! I think it would be really interesting to do a kind of energy deck with Phoenixes. I don't think it would work at all, but I think it'd be fun. That's fine, yeah. Draw first. Cool. Play that. What did I get? Now, here's this being an instant. It's not too bad. It means if he plays one of his smaller guys in the upcoming turn, I can use it. This is a non-standard aspect combination. Normally you'd see Order Wisdom, because Wisdom runs things that can put attack to 0 for Helm decks. Of course, when it has the requisite levels... What am I doing? He's killing my Phoenix. So when a Helm has the requisite levels, it will steal something whose power is less than the number of Helms that I forget whether it's controlled or in play. It's a term similar to that. That's going to be useful. Yeah. So, yeah, having the wisdom that can put creatures' power to 0 on the turn that you go off means that you can steal quite a few creatures that are a bit better than you'd normally be able to. Yeah. I don't care about this. I suspected there would be more removal, like I could have done 1 and 3, but I was thinking, hey, maybe it's I've forgotten what it's called. It's it's either detonate or there's an order 1 as well that deals 1 damage to everything. Now, here's an interesting case. So now I have 5 in burn, so that's 5 reach, that takes him to 8. I'm not going to do anything with that now. I'm going to hope I draw one of my 3 dragons at some point. I did toss that one at the beginning of the game, but I did run 3 to make tossing it less concerning. That's fine too. At this stage, there's nothing in play. We have all of the removal. We've got enough mana to play all of the removal. I'm a happy chap. I'm just going to keep drawing, hopefully find a playable card, hopefully some burn. I probably should have DO'd there. I played a bit fast. Hey, there's something I want to kill. Here's a nice thing about Cannonade. Against one big guy, it's excellent. I see the 2 mana, and I'm just like, I'm going to attack first, just in case they want to pacify my 2/2. No one ever plays Pacify when I do that, which is really sad. But it's okay. I have a dragon now. That's going to be fun next turn. So I have 5 from here, 3 and 2 puts me at 10, and then I just need 1 of these to connect for that remaining 1 damage. Unless he starts gaining life through Prosperous Ruling, which he might well do. Or Might Emblems, but these are all slaves that I have no intention of killing, so we're good. In fact, I'm just going to save myself some time here. Let's do that. Let's do that. So using that instant speed, just getting in that extra 2 chip damage. 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, he would have been on 5 anyway, but if he had a heal for 2, it would mean that this turn I would potentially have 2 extra damage. Alright, so that was a slightly more representative game. There we go. Zaurus. Zaris? I think Zaris. Yeah. I have a shrine, I have an early play, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. Sounds good. There is a chance that keeping 1 good shrine is a mistake, but it's a smallish chance. Ooh, he's making the mistake that annoys me. That's 55, 56, 62 cards that he runs, which is not 60, which means the deck is less consistent than it might be. Taking the rage level in case I feel like sparking out the symbol on his turn. Again, happy to use the Word of Fire. Because it's corruption, because it's Enoch, especially with Blood Feast, I am expecting many creatures, and when it's a many creature deck, those creatures do tend to be smaller. I am also seeing the Dominion Shrine there, which makes me really, really value Fire Blasts. I will not be DOing any Fire Blasts this game. I want them all. Now, I could take the Rage level, which potentially lets me coin the Phoenix next turn. I'm not planning on using this turn anyway, so I'd have it the turn after. And I'd still have the Symbol of Fury. I like it. Does mean I need to toss something. That's an artifact. Keeping the Dragonfire. Probably tossing just the normal Fireball there. Play something big. It's not very big. Is it worth me controlling? I don't think so. Maybe with a Fireball. Nah. Phoenix! So Phoenix trades with any chaff from here, essentially for free, and I really want to destroy that with Dragonfire. So if I can keep this trading, that's fine. Fire Blast could be good. Only played one. I feel like that's incorrect. He pays 2 for the Might Emblem Slave, and then buffs this, and then my Phoenix dies and that doesn't, so I'll just let him deal 2 to my face instead. Ooh, that needs to die. We found it. We found the Dragonfire target. There and there. Excellent. Now, if we attack here, this has the option to block, which gives him the choice. I don't want him to be able to choose what's better for him, so I'm just going to take the one that he might choose, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And dear God, my hand has not got shrines in it. I'm not going to say terrible. I don't need these. I might need them, but I don't currently need them. I've got another one. I value this more. The Cannonade can be either excellent or terrible as it comes up. I am fully expecting that this plays the Vampire Bats, which are all 1/1s. There's 4 of them, but if there's only one left, it becomes a big creature. He has no mana. Ah, right, yeah, no, sorry. This is already tired. That's why. It's fair enough. Beauty. So, that goes there. He can't block, lower speed. Excellent. And Cannonade, which is actually dealing 8 to this because it's the only target. All the things get put on, and then they get doubled. Hey! And what don't I want? Fireballs. Because it doubles up on the Fire Blast, except it's less useful. It is Reach, where Fire Blast isn't, but I fully anticipate caring more about board control in this matchup. In most matchups. Good Lightning Bolt target there. Or at least at the same time. Kind of want to save the Dragonfire. This is fine. I value stopping his damage more than getting my own in. To the point where I'm strongly considering just trading with that 3/1, despite having removal. I didn't DO. Oh, I'm sad I didn't DO. I no longer want to trade with the 3/1. Because I want to remove that. That's fine. Guy's very low on cards now. We've almost stabilized. That will do in a pin. Still too early for that to be a useful amount of extra value. Alright, Fire Blast here. Lightning Bolt here. Smack him in the face. And I'm probably going to keep this Lightning Bolt until that cooldown runs down, and it'll give me one more turn without needing to sacrifice. So that is the utility of this one. It does stop hero powers being activated, and also creatures activated powers, but that almost never comes up. Hey, we have a win. Sorry about that sound. Last game, sick. So, Fireworker, Symbol of Fury. Yeah, we keep that. We got the 2 drops. We got 2 shrines. Happy to DO that as well. I would like to see my extra card, yes. Cool. If I'd gotten a shrine there, I might not DO the dragon, but I didn't, so I will. Play out that Fireworker. Don't need 2 Cannonades, probably. Yes. Sorry, I don't know why I wouldn't, but just something told me to pause there. which is good. You should pause and think about your decisions in case they're important, because sometimes they are. He can't activate it, so I can attack first before I sacrifice. Do I want that 1 mana for anything else? No, I don't. So this is fantastic. It was worth thinking about whether I needed that mana, because if I did, then this would be a terrible play. Now, important to, in case anyone is, well, in case anyone's from a MTG background or something like that, there is no full interaction in this game. There is no stack, which means I don't want to give him interaction to kill this because I can't then react with sacrificing, which is why I'm sacrificing it now. Destroy that lamp. Goodbye, friend. That's fine. And I play a Phoenix. Yay! These are more impactful than that, is essentially my train of thought. Cannonade, potentially not. I'm still not sure on this one because it's 4 mana. If it was 3 mana, then it'd be definite. But 4 mana, it's like that one could be 4 mana. Deal 2 to 2 things. This one could be 4 mana, and if their board's big enough, it does nothing. So having that versatility of guaranteed damage. But then if there's one big thing, so there's like the 4 level 6, 7, this can be more useful, right? That's fine. This is an imperfect response, but this is cheaper and probably just as good. This is cheaper. Similar goodness, maybe. This is cheaper and ineffective at this threat. So we're gonna, we can't spend the extra mana anyway that we'd save with a cheaper removal. So we might as well use this now. It's a card for a card. It's fine. Lightning Bolt is good here. I'm going to toss the Fireball. Lightning Bolt is good here because they have an Illusion Twin. And this will just very simply kill that Illusion Twin. So will Fire Blast. It's just free removal. Add the fact this cycles. Excellent. We are, of course, also only 2 turns away from our big Firestorm, which is always useful. Hey, perfect Fire Blast turn. But I also want to play things. Well, I'd rather play things. And this is coming up next turn, so if he wants to do like some big removal-y stuff, this trades into this well. I've got plenty of life to play with. If he wants to remove this, then I can hit the button. If he wants to develop his board, then I can hit the button. If he wants to do nothing, then I trade well and I get to save the button. It's a long cooldown, so saving it is relevant. And I can always just use this next turn and then swing for 3 because I took the time to develop the tempo now instead of reacting the whole time. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So I hit the button. Easy. He gets 4 damage in, but he's now spent an extra resource into my removal, right? This doesn't even cost me a card, it's whatever. Granted, neither did either of those, really. This cycled, that was free, that came with the evolution, so that was kind of free, half a card instead of 1. I'm going... Yes, yes, yes. Goodbye. I just need some time to play my Elder now. And all my other cards. It's interesting. 1 rage level. What does 1 rage level get you? I tried a deck like this. It was really bad. Okay, cool. I love it. I am so much more excited about playing this game out now. This is unideal. I never want to play 2 of those together. Now the problem is, this doesn't deal damage anymore. So do I save it or do I cycle it? And the answer is, I'm getting towards dragon turns, I cycle it. Like, I'm not using it anyway. Sick, nice draw. I'd have 2, but I really want not that. Yes, I got not that, perfect. So in the deck that I played, I ran the force fields, I ran the electrostatic storms, and I ran a whole bunch of energy stuff. And it was really good at staying alive, and then I decked out. Or they'd run spell removal and I'd lose instantly. I then tried an alternative which ran Thormic Reflector, Fireballs, and the same, so I could do something so I wouldn't deck out, and it just still wasn't quite good enough. This is a great symbol of Fury turn. Excellent. Oh, no, it's not because of the force field. I see. Oh, well, let's cycle. Your mistake was only having one. When you get 3 of those out, that's a real fun time. Ah, we got a Dragonfire. I suspect that's going to be useful soon. I would also like to draw, because again, now I'm in dragon time. I really just want my dragons. I run 3. They'll come up eventually. And this is up soon as well, so that's excellent. Oh, this bug. There's not an illusion twin on his deck. It's dead. Go away. Just trying to know how many cards he has in his deck, because I've drawn a lot more cards than him, I'm pretty sure. Although, maybe not. No dragon, so I don't take the rage level. That could become relevant. I like Cannonade least. Also, it gets around the force field because it doubles and there's 1, so that's actually 6 damage reduced to 5. Play the Phoenix. Excellent. That goes away. Goodbye, little forcey fieldy. Now, if this goes 3 more turns and I don't find my dragons, that's still kind of okay, because then I get up to 12 mana crystals. I don't really get too much far past there, because I run 16 red sources, 9, 10, 11, and that'll be 11 shrines, 12, 13. I have 3 more shrines in my deck. Hold up. How do I want to do this? Can symbol there, Fire Blast there. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I can symbol there. Symbol there. We decided, don't run me out of time. I needed time to think. Unfortunately, my stuff is shocked. And I kind of want to deal with this board, which means I'm not going to play my dragon, because I want to deal with this board. Instead, I'm going to start with that. There we go. Lovely. And then do that. And then get this. Haha. Now, next turn, I do have this. So if I have 3 dragons, I put them down, they each survive 1 turn. That's 15 damage. Stop. There's no illusion twin on your deck. I want to see how many cards you have. It's a useful statistic for me to know. 27, there we go. So he's actually been drawing as powerfully as I have, which I guess makes sense because he has been running Power Discharge and he has been running Parallel Evolution. Library Guards as well. Yeah. 4 damage among creatures I control. This one's going to die anyway, so assign full there and then 1 there. I don't like your force fields, but that's okay. I'm thinking, because there's a force field up, I want to maximize these turns now. So I am actually going to wait for the 12. What that does mean is that won't even kill it. I'm going to go over the head then. I'm going to use the Cannonade here. And I'll probably, again, just cycle that Lightning Bolt. Yes. So he has to tick that up to 3. The token doubles, which deals 6 damage, minus 1. Right, I am low on shrines in here, so this is getting a little bit less good. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Drop 1 Dragonfire. That's not what we want. That's probably one of the best uses actually for this one, using it as that final level. But I will keep searching for the extra mana before I take that final level in many circumstances. There is a chance that I have a lethal setup between the board and the dragon, in which case, great. We can count that now, actually, assuming nothing happens and this reduces 1. So 3, 5, 7, 11. He's going to shock everything. Fire Blast, Dragonfire. Dragonfire is not enough. Fire Blast, Cannonade. Yeah, so I want Cannonade to kill that. Because 4, 8, minus 1, 7 still kills 5, right? Because that's what I'm putting the emblem on. 3, 6, minus 1, 5. And then he has room to misplay, which potentially he puts 1 on the Aurite, thinking that'll save him. Oh, no, he's got the Incarnate now. That's no longer a play. Stop shocking my creatures. It's so shocking. Oh, that force field is still up. Give me a shrine. Oh. The thing is with this up, actually, there's not great removal options, right? So here I'm going to Dragonfire that. It'll die because 5 minus 1 gets to 4. That's fine. Cannonade will also kill that. And then there's still this. I don't like it, but it's fine. None. Shame. I'm not using a Fire Blast to kill an Aurite. I'm cycling this. I'm cycling this. And that's the turn. Now at the beginning of his next turn, the force field goes away. And hopefully by then I've got the dragon set up. Deal 5 to creatures I control. This one dies anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 4/4. I like having 4/4s. Five damage to creatures I control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because then they both survive, but they're both frozen. Then I might as well do that. I'm going to try this. This might be wrong. If he has third snowstorm, everything dies anyway. So this is fine. It's having one thing unfrozen, or 3 things frozen. That's my trade here. And I think I was correct based on that. And he gets his 1 damage in, that's fine. That's the 1 damage I take for not using a Fire Blast on that. But I'm lowish on cards. I feel like I can get more value out of my Fire Blast, especially when his force field's gone. Interesting that he's got 1 lamp out. He's used 3 snowstorms, yeah. Toss the Valley. Yes! Take the mana. Yes. Use the word. Yes. Smack him in the face. Yes. I didn't even get to use my dragons. So that's how much more this game can grind. So say things were slightly bigger. I used more resources than the dragons. But this game is over. Because I'm being greedy. Did I have a kill that turn? 5, 7, no. So this could have only dealt 5 that turn anyway. Would have been, oh, I had the fireball as well. So it would have been 8. And then deal 4 damage. Excellent. This is the one that leaves me with something left over. So that's an easy choice. I mean, this game is over anyway. They have 1 card. And that is not good enough for that 1 card. Another one. I'm joking. The game is over. I'm really hoping they don't concede, because I really want to press that button twice. I think that'd be fun. Hey. To the point where I'm not even going to fling that fireball. I will get rid of, I don't know, you. Why not? That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's not ideal when you still have Word of Fires that you plan to play, but I do not. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me finish. Go, 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 go. Hey. All right. 10 damage from the dragon to end. Fantastic. I have an early shrine. I have early plays. These can be DO'd. Fantastic. I do want to see the extra card because I want an extra chance of getting a shrine, right? There we go. Excellent. Take that rage level, play the goblin. Definitely DO, definitely get rid of the dragon, because again, that's our super late game play. We don't need it before then. I've got some lowish removal, which I will now use. What do I value more, the symbol or the fireball? It doesn't matter. I'll use the symbol because I got 2 of it. Yeah. But it is cheaper than the fireball, so you know. It is a question. Kind of want to keep the cannonade. They sometimes have like Helm of Dominion, so I definitely want the Dragonfire. I'm going to toss the Lightning Bolt because its primary purpose is kind of just to ping. It can be really good against Tempting Lure much later in the game. So in the same way as I'm happy to toss the dragons at this stage, I'm happy to toss the Lightning Bolt now. There is another way I could have played this. I could have said, cool, I'm keeping all my dragons in my hand when I draw them, so he can never get them. But I think that slows down my early game against a good opponent. Don't need both of these. I want to stay at 3. I could just get rid of the cannonade. What big things does he play? Could just get rid of the symbol. I'm going to get rid of the symbol. Because I'm more concerned, based on the hero power I see, based on kind of what I'm seeing here, I'm more concerned about a big threat being played than 2 small threats being played. I'm going to keep the removal that gets rid of bigger threats. If he plays 2 small threats, then it's whatever. I'll just play my Phoenix, and it'll probably trade with both of them. That's annoying. Didn't get anything too important. What did he put back? Ugh, don't put back my Fireworker. Good news is, I'm going to fireball that down immediately. Hooray! Goodbye, Valley. Hello, level. And Phoenix. Haha. Probably don't want the Fireworker. Something's going to get milled. Mill my Fireworker. I do not enjoy playing against mill decks, though. It is truly terrifying. It specifies enemy creature. It specifies enemy creature. That's not big enough. Shame. I'm still going to get rid of the Fireworker. Yay! Do that. So the reason I was looking at my removal spells was because if I can kill this Phoenix, then Prinhar goes away. The Phoenix still comes back. Instead, this Phoenix is going to go away anyway, and then Prinhar's going to show up there. So it'd be like me, spending 3 damage to kill a 3/3 and like utilizing my mana this turn, which is really why I wanted it, instead of not, and this happening. Still comes back, it's fine, but he's got that 3/4 now. So probably looking at the Cannonade here. Don't like that. Going to symbol that down. And look, I happen to have the spare mana. That's the first time. Ooh, tasty. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing that. 4 damage, Word of Fire. Love to see it. Okay, now our hand size is now small enough that we're starting to think tempo play? which I don't think I've shown off yet, but sometimes you need to. The concern is, of course, Helm of Dominion. I got the answer. I do have a dragon. I can play the dragon. I've already invested that 4th level. I might as well use it. I still got 2 more. Until he steals them. I think this is going to be a close game. Because there's a lot of stuff in this deck over here that could just disrupt entirely what I want to do in my game plan. Bats. Cannonade is an amazing answer to that. Forget everything I just said. So he can only assign the amount of health there is. So it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So perfect response. All goes away. I don't have to deal with weird bat lady coming out. That's where all my shrines are. It's concerning. They're at the bottom now. All right, discard. Hard choices. Like, actually super difficult. I'm going to get rid of the Dragonfire. I feel not good about that. Maybe I should have gotten rid of the Phoenix. Because I don't want him to take my Phoenix, right? And that is a risk at this stage. Keeping the Fire Blast over the Cannonade in case he plays more Batty Bats. This only does 4, distributes 4 damage among creatures, whereas this will kill something on the backline, and also all 1 health thing. 3 aspect deck. This is cool. That's painful. That's painful. If I can hold on for 1 more turn past this next one, then this can activate its ability on the turn it comes down. I'm okay with this. Even if he uses removal now, it's still like it takes card from his hand, right? Okay, and that, that's fine. I can double Fire Blast this. That is a lot. That is a lot. But I'm going to do it. I don't like this move, but hopefully it's for the greater good. So he's got 3 cards now. I only have 2. I will draw my 3rd. Hopefully I get a shrine. That's fine. Okay, I got a shrine, so it's fine. Do that and that. Draw. Dragon. Do I ever just go face? Nah, he's probably got removal with the Rune of Blades, so this needs to impact the board some. And then next turn, when he's used the Rune of Blades to kill my dragon, I will use my AoE. Plus Word of Fire if there's anything too big. Now with this really small hand size, this is where the Dragon Shrine can start to come in. It means at 10 mana with that shrine and a dragon, I get 2 activations. So it's 2 turns earlier on those activations when your hand size is small. Until it's guaranteed, I hate doing it because I really like consistency, as you would have all known from my repeated going on about consistency. Fuck the shrine. I want removal. Sick one. Am I doing it? Doing it. He didn't have removal then. What guarantees he has removal now? Beautiful. I do need to put one of those back. Okay. That's one card he's used on it. Okay, and then the Karthus. Still, that was a lot invested. Now we've got Word of Fire for Karthus. That as a last resort for like our big board, which I don't think he'll have. We just dealt like 10 damage to him. Real nice though. Okay, here we're getting rid of Valley, and we're never DOing again. We top deck now. Top decking well. That's nice. No, don't take a dragon. He totally can. He totally can. I should have used that on his face. That's so sad. Now, the good thing is Dragonfire kills it. And he can't actually influence the board in any way. The Dragonfire kills here, or Cannonade. Cannonade. No, because the vampires. Because he runs the vampires, I'm going to use Dragonfire. And swing for 2. I have 1 dragon left. So 1 in 25. Or, I don't know how many burn spells I have, because I know he's milled me a little bit. But let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Ah! He stole it. Keeps making me discard things. 1, 2, 3. I've played 3 Symbol of Furies, and I've played 1 Fireball. So now is a rare thing that happens. I have lost the board. Probably. If I have nothing else to play, I can press the button. I want this to be a little bit bigger before I press the button, because at the moment, I have 18 turns. That's better. I know he's got discard shenanigans, so I'm just going to use cards when I have them. But I have 3 Fireballs and 1 Symbol of Fury. And I need any 2 of those cards, of those 4 cards, and there's only 23 left, and I can kill him. Now, some of these will be shrines, which will cycle themselves as well. There's the bats. I probably use this against the bats. Rude. Rude. Oh, that can happen. That's a sick card. So I had 5. That was the big one. I was not expecting that to be a reasonable out, but I'm so happy it was. That was excellent.